6-yard line.
Play action. Now Trubisky. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brought down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
That's complete to Slayton. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
3rd down, here's Geis. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it? Touchdowns. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Patriots take over. New England trying to get to place on offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Completes it to Samuel. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Trubisky on 1st down. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To try again after the sack. Trubisky. And that's complete to the tight end, Devin Asiasi.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Mitchell Trubisky sacked.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 6.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. Look at the big man rumble past the 20. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Michelle. It showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
At the 5-yard line. A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
And it's Michelle once again. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A 26-yard attempt.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
Patriots 12.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Space to maneuver at the 40. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points.
Badgley set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Their own 23-yard line.
Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Now it's Trubisky. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. On first down, Trubisky. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now Trubisky lost the football. It's going the other way. Does the big boy have the juice? And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Jacob Hollister, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Now Trubisky. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Sony Michel. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
3rd down and 10.
Here's Trubisky. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our visitors,